All right. Hello, everybody. This is the Flex Network as we are back with the weekend review show here on the Flex Network, on YouTube, and on Facebook, wherever you're catching us. Welcome to the show. Man, it's good to be back. And damn, it has been a crazy, crazy week in not only with the C19 virus, but just in general. Literally, in the past 24 hours, the craziest time frame. If you're a wrestling fan, if you're a WWE fan, especially, man, just so much craziness. We're going to get into it. But of course, before we get too far into this, you know how we do this when we start, because we haven't done it for a while. But we are live. Yes, we are live. And boy, just a lot of stuff. I hope everyone out there right now, you're doing good. You're staying safe at home. Is just so much, going on right now. I hope everyone out there is safe. You know, you're keeping your distance from people safely, of course, but if you need a break and everything from what you're doing, come on in. Come and join. Our boy Michael getting in is like, where are you at, boy? He's like, right here, live and in full color, baby. It is the Flex Network weekend review show here of wrestling. And boy, do we got a lot of stuff to get to. So let's, get into it. I mean, literally, we are 24 hours outside of Black Wednesday. Literally, WWE has, they've been in serious money trouble, right? Or not, I'm not going to say money trouble per se. I'm just going to say they have been cutting a lot of, trying to, handle what's been going on with the C virus and the after effects. I mean, hell, WrestleMania, no one was there. The only people there were essential personnel. There was no fans in the stands. I mean, they had to move from James Raymond Stadium down in Tampa to their performance center in Orlando. So a lot has been happening. I mean, with having not the money drawn in from the arena, from the merchandise sales, from the I want to say that maybe the pay-per-view buys, unless it was all, you still got to buy the pay-per-view and everything, but for 2 nights. But again, with no, and not even just WrestleMania, you got to think NXT, we take over Tampa, no arena, so no arena sales, no merchandise sales from that. No Hall of Fame, tickets for that were, reimbursed. Tickets for everything that were essentially for this upcoming weekend gone, money gone from that. So WWE, granted, they are now, or in the last little, week or so, they have been deemed essential business. So we're not going to have tapes, tape shows for, now because They were deemed essential business in the state of Florida, so that means they can go back to live action in the performance center without any uh, fans, of course, and essential personnel only. So that's good on that front because we don't have to worry about them, taping, back to back to back to back, in a stretch run like they did before WrestleMania. But also it affect their contracts with USA, with NBC and Fox, because of the fact that they can only do so much tape, tapes of the show, tapings of the show, and not be in breach of their contract. Well, with now being able to go back live, they can go back to live on Mondays, live on Tuesdays or on Fridays, so they can actually get everything done and not be, worried about their contracts with USA and NBC being affected. So right now, it's just up in the air right now with everything going on. But back to Black Wednesday, we had 15 over 15 superstars was let go yesterday. Literally, in WWE, and of course maybe a couple also in NXT, but the big names, of course, Kurt Angle's gone, Rusev, Drake Maverick, Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, the Good Brothers right there of the OC, Slater, Eric Young, Rowan, Sarah Logan, Noah Jose, Mike and Maria Canales, EC3, Aiden English, Leo Rush, Primo, and Epico, and longtime WWE referee Mike Chioda is also gone. This is just beyond crazy. And then we also lost Denaro Perezzo. I want to say it's a female from NXT who has been kind of doing some call ups to like main event, maybe some Raw for like some squashes. But again, this is just so crazy that in the span of 24 hours, 14 plus or 15 plus superstars are no longer employed. Now, I'm going to say this: while it sucks, I hope eventually when this virus is gone, we get into some back to normal and businesses, are back into some form of normalcy and money comes into the WWE to where we can get, hopefully these superstars, it's just temporary because of the fact, WWE they're strapped for cash right now. They've wasted so much money on, other stuff. I'm not gonna say waste. I'm gonna say they spent money on probably a lot on stuff that they shouldn't have. But they're also cutting expenses, cutting down on spending. The big things were with this whole yesterday. Yeah, because it's Thursday. So WWE is going to be reducing executive and board member compensation. They're going to decrease operating expenses. They're cutting talent expenses and third-party staffing, and they're going to be deferring spending on their new building for 6 months. So from Titan Tower, they were going to be moving out of their building and going to have a brand new building. That's on hiatus right now for at least 6 months. So, and this is saving $4 million right here, $4 million. And they're going to have a cash flow improvement of 140 million from the spending for the deferred spending on their new building. So this is just essentially cost cutting and trying to, they're feeling the effects of the coronavirus, of the C-19 virus. So it sucks. So you got superstars right now who maybe we haven't seen a lot of on TV. They're, they get the calls like, "Hey, unfortunately, we got to let you go." Now, granted, a lot their WWE is also furloughing employees too, so it's just temporary. But of course, these guys, they were getting the axe. Of course, WWE talent and Everyone is going to get a 90-day no compete clause. NXT, anyone that gets, from NXT, they got a 30-day clause, and then they're being told, hey, after that, you can do whatever you want. So, I mean, NXT is probably going to get a lot of people, cut in the next week or so, maybe tomorrow, maybe later this week, or maybe next week. But of course, there's just been so much chaos with this C19 virus. I mean, think about it. Earlier this week, XFL. I mean, not, actually before that, when all the sports were getting shut down, XFL suspends the season, and then they turn around and say, "Nope, we're canceling it. The season's over." Well, now because of this virus, XFL has filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. What I can't literally fathom this idea that the second time around that the XFL is, here, they're doing this. They have to do it again. They have to shut down and close up shop again. It just blows my mind, the fact that this was built so hyped up. We wanted it back. People were getting interested into it, and then all of this craziness just goes away with the fact that we just lost another football franchise, and the fact that they're now having to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy with everything that's been going on. Now, I don't know what the money situation was with that. I mean, granted, with the season officially done, and you still got to pay your players, still pay your staff and everything, I can understand if it was, okay, we're going to suspend the season. We're going to pay everyone everything. We're going to halt. Halt. We don't know what's going on right now. We're going to wait until everything gets back to normal in the world, in our country, before we can start talking about next season. Granted, there have been some players that have been picked up from the NFL. They've been signed. They're going to be going to the NFL. They're going to get picked up. They've been signed as free agents. So it's good. It's a good, offset for these, teams that have been, they're looking for a free agent, that they saw these guys play, some games, and they're like, oh, I kind of like this guy. I want to like what he was doing on the field. Let's bring him in. So that's a good signing right there all the way around. People are still getting signed, but it's just sucks that these guys, that XFL has to Chapter 11 bankruptcy. If they're done again, the second rebirth of this brand is now gone, and it just sucks for the fans in general, because now we just lost. This is the second in non NFL league to go away in a short time. I can't think of the name off the other name off the top of my head. I think it was like the AF. I can't think of it as AAFL. I think it was. I can't think of it off the top of my head. So, but anyway, moving on from XFL, and that sucks. This past weekend, more fire coming out from someone who's not even working right now with WWE. Ronda Rousey literally starting a fire, literally just starting a literal fire with, I don't know if I want to say the company or in general, just in general with the fans, essentially, because she went off on the WWE fans, essentially calling them ungrateful. And she was saying this on talking with Steve-O on his show. You can go. I'm probably sure you can go and find that on YouTube, or somewhere. It is out there. But Rhonda, literally, and I quote, said this: "I love performing. I love the girls. I love being out there. But at the end of the day, I was just like, fuck these fans, dude. My family loves me and they're appreciative of me, and I want all my energy to go into them." Now I'm gonna. This is something very, very bad for I'm going to say this in twofold. Number one, if this is something of a work to get, when she eventually, if she ever comes back to WWE, if she ever comes back to WWE, and this is her to kind of plant the seeds of being a bad person, a bad girl, just someone that no one wants to deal, someone that the fans can truly hate. You just planted the biggest seed and just drenched it, because I would surely assume that the fans are like, dude, what? I mean, I can understand, some degree that this, if this is a work, if this is to get more people, like more, drooling for like, oh, when's she coming back? I can't wait to boo her, for saying this, and to, and especially just, what the repercussions that came out of it with Nia Jax coming out and defending the WWE fans, and essentially, just not even the WWE fans, but the product itself, just for what she was saying. I'm trying to find exactly what, because right now Rhonda is essentially, um, probably is not going to come back and do a full-time gig like her first run here. It's more like going to be a part-time superstar if she does come back. And this is what she was, essentially, what I was saying. She thinks having fake fights for fun is just the best thing. She loves the choreography, acting, and the theater, but it's just like, so yeah, here it is. So it's just like, what am I doing it for if I'm not being able to spend my time and energy or on my family, but instead spending my time and energy on a bunch of fucking ungrateful fans that don't even appreciate me? Uh, guys, I don't even know how to fully respond to this as as a fan, because I mean, yeah, I do, but it's like, really, if you're setting yourself up to be a villain, you kind of already did that when you were on the road to WrestleMania. You were yourself. I get it, but it's just so crazy to think that you're going to say that when you're on a time off. Granted, you had hand surgery, so you've been gone for a while, for what, a year. You've been out of action for a year. We knew that you were getting your hand fixed from WrestleMania, and then you got a finger cut off, and you're getting that reattached. It's like, okay, you're gone. Enjoy your time off. Do some other things. That's great. We were hoping Royal Rumble came around. We are going to see you be in the Rumble itself. And, granted, Shayna was in the Rumble, and it was like, okay, Shayna's in. It sucks. Ronda's not here. Okay. And then getting down the road to WrestleMania. Okay, Ronda, it's going to be Shayna versus Becky. Ronda might come in and, do something, cost Becky the title, and we can get the Becky versus Ronda one-on-one that we've wanted from Survivor Series last year, but we never got because of Nia Jax breaking Becky Lynch's nose. So, but again, that's neither here or there. So the fact that while you were playing, you were yourself, and the fact that you're thinking we're ungrateful, it's like, no, we're booing you because of what you're doing on camera. We're not booing you. We don't hate Ronda Rousey, the person, because number one, we know you're the baddest woman on the planet. Number two, we know you're, an awesome person. Okay. Yeah, there may be some people. I'm going to say that there may be some people out there that just do not like Ronda Rousey, period. For the plain fact that, yeah, she came in hot at the Royal Rumble 2 years ago. her first ever wrestling match was at WrestleMania 30. She got her first title opportunity at Money in the Bank. Got the title at SummerSlam, and then just held it all the way through to WrestleMania in New York, and then was gone. It's like she just came in and boom, given the title. I mean, not really off the bat, but within like what? January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Within 8 months. 8 months you're in, you're the champion. Okay. So what? To those fans, it's like, okay, whatever. To those fans that are like, oh, dude, she doesn't deserve it. She hasn't put her work in. It's like, dude, she's earned an opportunity to be, given to be the champ, to be the representative of the women's division on Raw. So again, it's just how WWE plans. It's like they can make anything, anyone a champion at any time if they have the confidence in her, in which they do, because she's a mega star from MMA, literally box office attraction, movie star right there. And then she comes in, it's like, you know what? I want to do wrestling for me. I want to do this for me. I want to have fun. I'm not under any pressure to go and, I have to come in and do this. Like, no, I'm here to have fun and do, outside of my comfort zone. And you know what? While she may have a set, standard of moves, and it's, granted she was working on new moves, again, it's how WWE rolled with it. But now getting on the other side of this whole thought process with this, if she is truly pissed off at the fans for the fact that they were booing her, well, you need to develop thicker skin. I mean, I'm sure that there was people over at UFC that were booing you out the door. Every time you fought someone, you were getting booed. Like, I don't like you. You're gonna, I hope, Holly Holmes destroys you, which he did. I was just first person off the top of my head I was thinking. But yeah, you're gonna have people that don't like you. Grow thicker skin. And, granted, I will guarantee you, if you were, hung around Ronda Rousey, if she, hung out with her for like an hour and be like cordial to, one-on-one, I'm pretty sure she would be, hella cool to you. And vice versa, to a point. But if you don't like her for a specific reason, that's your option. And Ronda, you got to accept the fact that no, not every single person on this planet is going to like you. So again, it's a two-way street. I mean, you got to, play towards your fans that obviously like you, and obviously you can't really necessarily clump the WWE fans, all of them. I'm talking every single one of them, because number one, you have fans that are WWE fans that were fans of yours in the UFC. And maybe even before, when you were first coming up in Strikeforce, you had fans from there too. So to clump every single WWE fan, the ones that have bought your merchandise, and I'm one of them, that have bought your shirts, that have, paid for posters with you on them, bought your gloves that they've sold on WWE Shop, basically have been a fan of yours, and then just to turn around and say, fuck the fans. That's not cool. So again, it's not cool. I can understand if you say, you know what? Fuck the ungrateful fans that do not like me. Screw them. The people that have booed me, the ones that think I suck. If you had said that, I would have been like, you know what? Yeah, go for it. If people are still bothered by you not being WWE right now, and they're just harassing you to, when are we going to see you, you stupid? When are we going to see you? When are we going to see you? When are you going to be here? You need to, show up, you stupid. Then I would have gone off on those people. But to say the WWE fans in general, which is the tone it was and the way it sounds and looks like, all the fans, that includes the ones that don't like you, the ones that think you're okay, the ones that think you are good, and the ones that think that, oh my God, it's the best thing ever. We got Ronda freaking Rousey. Let's support her. You got those fans. You're gonna clump them all into one, and you're gonna say "fuck you" to them. Not cool. I can understand why Nia Jax, was at least defending the locker room itself, to where essentially was just saying, you know, put me um with her. I If they put me with her, I'm gonna prove why I'm the best bitch. I don't care. I will knock her out. I'm trying to find that for you guys, but I mean, yeah, Lana blasted on Ronda Rousey. It's just like Alexa Bliss, essentially. Oh yeah, uh, finding that one, and then yeah, Nia Jax. Again, just make sure I got the been hearing about this, but again, it's just I'm giving you my opinion about this. So yeah, Nia Jax. Uh, this is what she was tweeting. I can't wait for Ronda to one day return to WWE, even if WWE orders me to make Ronda look good in the ring, which is the only way for Ronda to look good in the ring with me. I'll risk my job to go down in history as the one from this business that knocked her the fuck out. Yeah, when you hear that and you see that from the standpoint of fans, like, damn. I mean, if you're not a Nia Jax fan and you're someone that's like, damn, you know what? Stand up and give her an applaud for saying that. Again, it's just so much. If this is 100%, your feelings, then you just, pissed off almost the entire women's locker room for what you said, calling it fake fighting. Okay, yeah, it may be scripted, you know, outcome is already determined. Ooh, the secret's out. Can't, shut down the show. But guess what? We all know, people know that. But the action and the fact that these men and women are putting their bodies on the line, they're going out every week, 365 days a year, essentially. Maybe it's going to be less than that, but year round, they're on the road. They're doing a lot of dangerous things. Fall. You can't tell me that Mick Foley getting tossed off the Hell in a Cell did not hurt. It just tickled. He landed on a crash pad. It's like, no, he went through a table, landed on the floor, and he suffered major injuries and then got back up and went through the cell and landed in the ring on plywood in not a very thin mat, like foam mat, and steel underneath that. So again, 16 feet up or however many feet above. This stuff is real. There's real injuries, and it's not. There's been a quote for this. This ain't ballerina. This is professional wrestling. It's gonna hurt like hell. Going through a table hurt like hell. Get hit with the back of the head, back with a chair, gonna hurt like hell. Hit with a Singapore cane, hurt. Get hit with a ladder, fall off the ladder. It's gonna hurt. Diving off outside the ring onto the concrete floor and hitting the back. Ask Montez Ford. That hurt. So it's just too much. Ronda, I'm a fan, but I'm just saying, the twofold of this argument, that if this was a shoot to get, if this was a shoot to, like, this is her real feelings, then she better understand what fire she's going to have to put out if she comes back, or if she ever runs into the women's locker room again. And if this is just a work on the fans to get them to tune in, to be like, okay, we want to see Ronda Rousey, and she's gonna come back, and we're gonna, like, yeah, boo, you said this stuff about us, boo, and it's a story, okay. So again, it's a story. If it's, then that's that. Then we can move on. Let's see what else. Oh, other news before we get to today's tragic events. Um, Money in the Bank is not going to be held uh, where originally was going to be. Is going to be. It's moving from uh, its location. Is moving from its location from where it. Let's trying to get the do do do. Yeah, I was trying to get the locations. It's just on my end. Um, yeah, I was supposed to be in Baltimore on May 10th, Sunday, May 10th, essentially 1 month from now. But unfortunately, because of the virus, Baltimore, Maryland, the Royal Farms Arena has decided not to hold Money in the Bank there. So they're going to move it to the Performance Center. As part of its, continuing, broadcast from the Performance Center as is essential business. So yeah, that sucks for Baltimore. Another pay per view. That is what the second one. WrestleMania the first and Money in the Bank is the second one. Hopefully, their next pay per view after Money in the Bank. Let's see what their next pay per view after Money in the Bank is going to be this year, 2020. Performance. Okay, so 2020. Extreme Rules right now is still scheduled, at least right now, to be at uh San Jose and at the SAP Center. So that'll be in July 19th, and then under a month later, SummerSlam weekend at Boston with Takeover Boston for NXT and SummerSlam. Um, so again, no, we haven't heard any word out of San Jose if they're going to 86 their show, the Extreme Rules pay per view, and we don't know what's going to happen with that come the summer, come August. So that's still going to be up in the air. Um, Tragic news out of today. WWE legendary ring announcer, the Fink, Howard Finkel, has passed away. Yeah, that one's a real shock. That's been a real surprising shock with what's been going on. Day after Black Wednesday for what's been going on, and we're seeing these, people who are losing their jobs, unfortunately, with this virus, and then a day later, not even a day later, we lose legendary ring announcer Howard Finkel. It just, passed away at age 69. Um, it's just going to be very, very sad and very hard um, for what's been going on. Just another blow to WWE, blow to wrestling in general. I mean, this is the guy that, called WrestleMania 1 at the Garden. Um, the Hulk Hogan, essentially the ring announcer for all the big main events, in the 80s and the 90s, 2000s. Um, with his calls and, the winner of this contest and new World Wrestling Federation champion, The Undertaker. It it's just such a tragedy. It sucks what happened. I mean, granted, we don't exactly know what exactly happened. I mean, if it was the virus or if it was just, bad health and everything, or if it was just, what's been happening. But again, it just so it's just another sad note on what's been happening in the world of in WWE's world right now, in professional wrestling right now. I mean, with Howard Finkel now gone, um, it it's just so sad right now. 24 hours later, we lose the legendary Howard Finkel, and may he rest in peace. And uh, sorry, to his, it's just sad. Um, so yeah, I'm just trying to get my stuff organized quickly. How about we talk some SmackDown? SmackDown last week, the last of the tapes. Actually, I want to say it was the last of the tape. Actually, no, it was live. SmackDown was live last week. Um, Again, I mean, granted, coming out of WrestleMania this past week, and the fact that actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about WrestleMania. Just a little bit. The two nights, the two matches that I loved the most was the Boneyard match with Undertaker versus AJ Styles. That was freaking awesome to any degree. That was literally one hell of a put together show. The way they were doing that in the Barnyard match, and the fact that we got the American Badass back. The American Badass Undertaker is back in the building. He's back riding the Harley, and granted, he came out to Metallica as his theme, and, which was awesome. But hopefully, when he does, making another appearance in American Badass form, that we either get either Limps Rolling, we get Kid Rock's Cowboy, or we get hopefully it's the Dead Man Walking. You've Done It Now. Trying to think off the top of my head. What album? It was a WWE anthology. I want to say it was, yeah, it's anthology. Oh, You're Gonna Pay, yeah, that one. Either way, that was Undertaker American Badass is top for me, because it's something different. I mean, for the longest time since Undertaker's been in WWE, he's always been the dead man, the man in black, the one who's been burying everyone alive. And to see a different change for someone, to quote him, I may not dress like Satan anymore, but I'm still down with the devil. And that Undertaker, just to see him in the black trench coat and coming out of the bandana, rolling out on a Harley or, on a motorcycle, was awesome. It was always cool to see. And then to have him go back to Dead Man was also cool. But you got to think, after a while of doing, granted, it might be slight tweaks to it, but it's still the same after how many years? Since 2004, when he came back after WrestleMania 20. And it's just small tweaks to the original Dead Man thought, then you got to fully change it up. So, but kudos to AJ Styles and Undertaker for putting on one hell of a Boneyard match in that on night one. And then, of course, night two and the craziness of the Firefly Funhouse. I literally cannot explain that whole match, if you want to call it a match. I cannot explain essentially what they were thinking and what everything was going on to get ready for that match and how they put together. But if you have the network, go and watch night two, the Firefly Funhouse match. And I mean, granted, you may have to go back to certain parts in WWE, over the last 6 years, with John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. You're going to have to get, maybe watch some stuff back, the last 6 years with everything with John Cena and Bray Wyatt to kind of get the full comprehension of what is going on, but I'll break a little bit of it down. They essentially were trying, gain the aspect of Cena to turn heel. So many years everyone's been saying, when's Cena gonna turn heel? When's he gonna turn heel? When's he gonna turn heel? They kind of got into that. They got back to the WrestleMania 30 match with Cena and Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt original, the yes, the the crazy backwoods, not really Sister Abigail, but the Wyatt family version. The when he came in and trying to get Cena to give in to his anger and hit him with the steel chair. So go back and watch WrestleMania 30. You'll kind of get that knock right there reference. They went back to Cena when he first came in, making fun of him on that. And then for some reason, they brought him back. They got him to do Dr. Thugonomics. They got him to do a kind of weird version. I don't know how the NWO kind of got into. I mean, granted, I can understand the heel part because Cena turning on trying to do like what Hogan did, from the red and yellow to the black and white, being that villain. I could see that with, doing the NWO version of Cena, which was fun. And then to finally get Cena to start pounding on Bray Wyatt to get turned into, not being Bray Wyatt where he's there, and then to get the Fiend out, and then just Sister Abigail, Man of a Claw, done. Literally, it's like, did I just have a drink? I mean, like a hard drink, like several, and was not told about it. After watching this match, you're going to be thinking that it's like, did I take, was I drinking heavily? Was I, on drugs or something watching this? I, I got nothing. I mean, literally, I can't, that is my best explanation of this whole thing. But you need to go back and watch. I mean, granted, we had a rare throwback to even Saturday night's main event. And yeah, it was just weird on every level. So yeah, I mean, go back and watch it. That WrestleMania the 2-night event was awesome. We had new champs, we had champions retained, and everything going on with that. So that was awesome. So let's actually talk about what has happened this past week. SmackDown this past week, Shinsuke taking on Braun Strowman. One-on-one at the end of the night. It was okay. It was a good match. I mean, the new Universal Champion beating Goldberg. That was good. And then we get to see after the match, Seth Rollins come out and curbs, or actually no, that was on Raw. Sorry. We're getting ready for getting everything done with SmackDown. Strowman taking on Shinsuke, and winning, beat Shinsuke losing to Braun. Sheamus defeating a local talent, Squash. The Forgotten Sons make their WWE main roster appearance, defeating the Lucha House Party. Ziggler took on Tucker from the. Something's wrong with my mouse for a second. Ziggler defeated Tucker from Heavy Machinery. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defend their women's tag team titles and retained against the Kabuki Warriors. And then next week, Money in the Bank qualifying matches is going to be happening for the men's side. Or actually for both. We're going to have Daniel Bryan taking on Cesaro for the men's side, and then Dana Brooke taking on Naomi for a qualifying for the Money in the Bank. This year it's going to be 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown, 6-person match for the opportunity to get the Money in the Bank contract. And of course, if you get the Money in the Bank contract, you are guaranteed for 1 year a opportunity whenever you want, 365 days a year, to cash in and get an opportunity championship. Or also, tomorrow night will be Sasha taking on Tamina. If Tamina wins, she will get a SmackDown Women's Championship opportunity against Bailey. And I finally, I'm swear we're seeing the seeds planted for later in the summer. Hopefully, that we're gonna get heel Banks and heel Bailey turning on each other. You saw it at WrestleMania a little bit, but you saw it more this past week on SmackDown. And this is probably going to get into that setup for SummerSlam, hopefully, where Banks just turns on Bailey. Because you see it in Banks's look in her eyes. You could see it's like, you know what? Yeah, you start to see the Sasha Banks that took no crud from anyone and will backstab you in a heartbeat to get to the title. So we're gonna, I guarantee we're gonna see that coming up during over the summer. Tag team titles are going to be on the line again with Miz, Jimmy Uso, and Big E in a triple threat match for the tag titles. So, with WrestleMania having that triple threat ladder match, not the tag style. It was just a regular one, 3-person triple threat match because Miz unfortunately was not at WrestleMania because he was not a-okay, not cleared with the with being sick and not feeling good, was sent home. So they had to change that match to triple threat, like a standard triple threat with one from each team being representative. So this week is going to be the other half of the team's going to be getting in a triple threat match for the tag titles. And then Sonya's going to try to clear the air with Mandy from what happened leading up to WrestleMania and what happened at WrestleMania. Damn, that was a lot that was happening this past week and then heading into tomorrow. On the Raw side of things, in a women's Money in the Bank qualifying matchups, we had Asuka taking on Ruby Riott and picking up the victory. Asuka picking up the victory. Shayna Baszler taking out or beating a now gone Sarah Logan. Sucks, sorry for her and not being there anymore for right now. And Nia Jax is also picks up a victory over Kairi Sane in qualifying for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So we got the 3 women for the Raw side, which will be Asuka, Baszler, and Nia Jax. Aleister Black taking on Oni Larkin and picking up the victory. Austin Theory taking on Akira Tozawa. Angel Garza taking on I'm just gonna say local talent squash. Lashley taking on the now gone No Way Jose, beating him. Viking Raiders beating up on Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, getting the victory. And then Andrade defending the title, or defeating Andrade in a match for the main event. And then after the match, Seth coming in, curb stomping Drew, and looking like the Monday Night Messiah, is now going to be going for the WWE Championship. And we also know that next week on Raw, we're going to have the men's qualifying matchups. The men's side. Rey Mysterio taking on Murphy. Austin Theory taking on Aleister Black. And MVP taking on Apollo Crews in a Money in the Bank qualifying matchup for the men. Oh yeah, getting some more, Michael. Boy. It's like, yeah. Yeah, so that was essentially the weekend review. Actually, forgot about NXT. Talking about NXT, they're back in the show. Finn Balor taking on Fabian Anarker, or I can't say his name. Just Fabian. Beating him. Zia Lee defeating Aliyah, and the NXT Cruiserweight Championship tournament. Tozawa defeated Isaiah Swerve Scott. That was a good match. It was good. Tegan Knox defeating Raquel Gonzalez, getting her revenge from Takeover Portland, from getting chucked through, essentially trying to be chucked through a table, but it was more like she broke a table and it just didn't, she didn't go through it. Dexter Loomis defeated uh, Tahiti Miles. I cannot say his name right correctly, I think. And then NXT tag team titles were on the line. With, unfortunately, Pete Dunne not available to defend the titles, as announced from the bump with William Regal. Matt Riddle had to get a new partner for the time being, with Timothy Thatcher defeating the Undisputed Era and retaining the tag titles for Riddle and Pete Dunne. And then, surprisingly, the newly acquired Killer Cross makes his surprise debut, taking out and attacking one Tommaso Ciampa in the back. But we do know that next week on NXT show, it will be Finn, the Prince, taking on the Dream, Velveteen Dream, in one-on-one action. Other quick note before we get on down the road, AEW, their next pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, will be happening, but it's not going to be happening in Viva Las Vegas next month on May 23rd. Unfortunately, there's been some uncertainty surrounding the event with the pandemic, with the C-19 virus. It's not going to be happening at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. They have not announced a new location yet, and there will be no fans in attendance. So again, we don't know where it's going to be, but we do know that Double or Nothing will happen. As AEW issued a statement, and it reads as illustrating our mission statement: safety and well-being of our fans and talent is top priority. AEW is grateful to MGM Grand Hotel and Resorts and everyone close to and within AEW family, including fans, for their patience and understanding. So yeah, right now, at least on the MGM Grand website, AEW Double or Nothing has been postponed to May 29, 2021. Yeah, so if you do go on there, they have got a lot of events that are going on in the month of May that are postponed, and if you get down to even to September, a lot of things are postponed. So yeah, it's just going to be a lot of more crazy things. Right now, AEW has been holding tapings from Georgia. They got many more shows ready to weeks of shows to air. However, they've been working with a skeleton crew. So this also impacted what was originally planned for the PPV. So just more craziness with this virus. Let's just I don't know if about you or me, but I swear we just need to skip 2020 right now. Let's just get to 2021, please. Just for the sake of all of our sanity. Because even more so, more pay-per-view news for next year's WrestleMania. WrestleMania 37 is, even going to be threatened a little bit. With being in LA at the trying to think at SoFi Stadium in LA. Right now, LA Times has, come out and states the status of a fire department. Literally right now, we don't know. Large gatherings such as concerts and sporting events may not be approved in the city for at least 1 year. Essential businesses and small businesses will be phased in over a period of 6 to 10 months. So while we don't, I mean, granted, right now we don't know officially what's going to happen with next year. WrestleMania being in Inglewood, California, and even take over at Staples Center right now. That's where it looks like for next year. Granted, we still got a year, and hopefully we can get out of this stinking virus epidemic and just get back to some normalcy, get back to some form of, you know, back into the groups, back into our groups and everything along with it. I, I don't know about you, but we gotta get out of this. It's gonna be a long time before people can be back at the pay-per-views and at live shows. I guarantee you, the first show that is going to be the first, for AEW and WWE or anywhere, even in the local promotion, at the local level, there's going to be a dramatic, you know, applause. There's going to be dramatic, just welcome back, and a lot of great action. So I hope for the sake of the fans and the promotion that when we get to that point of coming back into the arena, coming back to support, to cheer, to boo, that WWE, that we just give WWE and AEW, the first time that even we can even call out Vince or and Cody, at the shows and just be like, thank you, just a big thank you to for what they've been doing, and even to even call out everyone to give them a standing ovation for doing all this work to keep us entertained in this crazy time, and just to say thank you for keeping this thing going. Just, the next AEW show that will get fans, just a big, standing ovation and a call outs like thank you. And the same thing with WWE, a standing ovation, for, to call out everyone. If Vince McMahon and Triple H and Steph come out, be like, and they call out they ask the rest of the roster to come out. Just a big old standing ovation and a thank you for doing all of this. Just a big thank you. Or even at the next, when we were allowed to have autograph signs, just a big thank you to the talent in general. Just thank you. You know, I know it's going to be a long time, it's going to be a while down the road before we can get to that point, but that day is going to be coming soon. I know it. Everyone here knows it. And it's just going to be a great time once we get out of this and even get back to have, baseball games again, back to hockey games, and of course football games when they get started, and any sporting event that gets, when we get the green light to be like, okay, you can come back to the stadiums, we can have the fans again, and we can have some form of normalcy, you know and just have this normalcy back. So that is going to be it for me. uh gotta get the housewarming stuff done first. With the draft coming up, I know that the boys over on, the regular on the football side, let me bring up that lovely little banner so you guys, they're going to be getting you guys ever so ready to go for your fantasy football, to get you that information, to get you guys to look at, to see who you guys need to be drafting in your fantasy leagues. And with the draft coming up, I mean, granted, shoot, hell, we're what 10 what, 10 days? We're very close to the draft happening. I know I'm not, right off the top of my head of how far we are out from the draft. Yeah, actually, yeah, we're actually less than that. April 23rd. So what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are 1 week away. 3-day event. It's going to be fun. I mean, granted, it's all going to be online. No, nothing in Vegas, no draft parties, no nothing like that. I mean, everyone's doing the draft from home. So this is going to be fun, interesting to watch. But the boys are going to get you. Flex Mike, Sealy Shane. Let me get this banner. Sealy Shane, Alan Seslowski, Flex Mike. They're going to Flex Mike, Flex, Matt. They're going to get you guys ready for that draft. Get you guys looking to see who you guys should be drafting to your fantasy football team, who you should be picking up to get you guys that paid money. If you're doing it on, for fun, if you're doing it with your buddies, or if you're doing it on roster, with the DSF, or cannot think of roster watch. So again, they will get you guys ready for the season. Keep an eye on that here on the Flex Network on YouTube and our Facebook. Of course, you can follow everyone down here for your fantasy football needs at the Flex Network 1 on Twitter. And of course, you can follow us on the wrestling side, which you guys are here for, at FlexNet_PW Elite. You can follow us there. We're trying to keep you updated with the wrestling content and get you guys, hyped with wrestling, with everything that's been going on. So that is going to be it for me. That is our show. And I hope you guys have had fun and enjoyed the show. We've been, everything. I hope you guys out there stayed safe. You stay healthy. You relax. We will get through this virus together. But until then, I am the SnowMan. You can follow me at AJS Dead Snow. That's my personal Twitter account. You can follow me there. But for now, this has been the SnowMan, and we are out. Peace.
It's all relative to the size of your steamboat. You can't see the forest full of trees.